Peter stumbled through the doorway of the Galactic Combat Academy's training facility, his shoulder colliding with the reinforced doorframe. The other cadets, sleek Velcorians with their 4 arms, hulking Dravax warriors, and graceful Scythran dancers, turned to watch. A few chittered in amusement. Earth's finest, someone muttered in Galactic Standard, the universal translator catching every syllable of mockery. Peter's face burned red as he straightened his uniform and made his way to the training mat. It had been 3 weeks since humanity had been granted membership in the Galactic Coalition, and he was one of only 5 humans selected for the Elite Academy. So far, he'd managed to trip over his own feet at least once per session, knocked over equipment, and accidentally activated a combat drone with his elbow. Tiana, the only other human in his cohort, gave him a sympathetic smile from across the room. At least she seemed to have inherited some grace. She moved through the obstacle courses with determination, if not the fluid elegance of their alien counterparts. Attention! The voice of Instructor Krellax boomed through the chamber. The Dravax commander stood 3 meters tall, his scaled hide covered in ceremonial combat scars. Today we test reflexes. Pure, unenhanced reflexes. Peter's stomach dropped. Reflexes. The one thing he'd never been good at. Even back on Earth. Krellax gestured to a complex apparatus in the center of the room. A sphere surrounded by mechanical arms, each tipped with a padded striker. The gauntlet measures reaction time. Each level increases speed and unpredictability. Most species average between 180 and 250 milliseconds. Enhanced soldiers with cybernetic mods can reach 100 milliseconds. A Velcorian cadet stepped forward first, her 4 arms positioning defensively. The machine whirred to life. Strikers shot out from random angles. She blocked, dodged, weaved. When the test ended, the display flashed. 195 milliseconds average. Respectable applause rippled through the group. One by one, cadets took their turns. The Scythran managed 173 milliseconds. A Dravax warrior, proud and confident, scored 210 milliseconds. When Tiana stepped up, Peter held his breath. She lasted longer than he expected, her movements efficient if not flashy. The display read, 203 milliseconds. Adequate, Krellax rumbled. Then it was Peter's turn. He walked to the center platform, hyper-aware of every eye on him. Someone whispered something that made others laugh. Peter closed his eyes, took a breath, and opened them. Begin. The machine erupted. Peter's body moved before his mind could process. Duck, a striker whistled past his ear. Twist, another missed his ribs by centimeters. His hand shot up, slapping away a striker coming for his face. His foot pivoted, his torso bent at an impossible angle, his shoulder rolled forward. The world became a blur of motion that he wasn't thinking anymore. He was reacting. Striker after striker came faster, the machine's hum rising to a whine. Peter's breathing remained steady even as his body flowed from one motion to the next. Somewhere in the back of his mind, he registered surprise. His usual clumsiness had vanished, replaced by something primal and precise. The machine stopped. Silence filled the training hall. Peter blinked, suddenly aware of the sweat on his forehead and his racing heart. He looked up at the display, not understanding the number at first. 67 milliseconds. Malfunction, someone said immediately. Has to be. Krellax's eyes narrowed. He stomped over to the machine, examining the readouts. His massive clawed hand worked the controls. Run diagnostics, he ordered. The wait felt eternal. Peter stood frozen, wondering if he'd somehow broken the equipment. Just another thing to add to his list of clumsy accidents. The diagnostic display flashed green. All systems operational. No errors detected. Krellax turned slowly to face Peter, his expression unreadable. Again, he said. Peter nodded, his mouth dry. He returned to the center. This time, he knew what to expect. The machine activated at level 2, faster than before. Peter moved, his body finding rhythms he didn't know existed. Block, dodge, weave, strike. The mechanical arms became predictable patterns, and he flowed through them like water. When it stopped, the display read, 64 milliseconds. Impossible, breathed a Velcorian. No Offworlder reacts that fast without mods. Krellax approached Peter slowly, studying him like a specimen under a microscope. Cadet Peter Chon of Earth. Are you cybernetically enhanced? No, sir. Genetic modifications? No, sir. Any pharmaceutical augmentation? No, sir. Just, just humans, sir. The instructor's mandibles clicked together thoughtfully. He turned to address the assembled cadets. A theory is forming in my mind, one that our xenobiologists have proposed but I dismissed as statistical noise. He gestured to Peter. Humans evolved as persistence hunters on a death world. For millions of years, their survival depended not on being the strongest or the fastest, but on reacting to threats. Predators with claws and fangs. Environmental hazards. Other humans. Krelax's gaze swept across the silent room. Most species in the coalition evolved on stable worlds with clear hierarchies. They developed specialized advantages, strength, additional limbs, enhanced senses. But humans? Humans developed the one thing that can't be easily replicated or enhanced, the ability to respond to the unexpected with terrifying efficiency. He looked back at Peter. Your clumsiness, Cadet Chen. That's your conscious mind interfering with your body's natural capabilities. But when the machine forced you to abandon thought and rely on pure instinct. He gestured to the display. This is the result. Tiana stepped forward, her voice carrying across the room. Are you saying all humans can do this? Potentially, Krelax replied, though Cadet Chen appears to be exceptional even among your species. He fixed Peter with an appraising stare. Tell me, what did you do on Earth before joining the Academy? Peter shrugged sheepishly. I played video games. Competitive first-person shooters, mostly. Several aliens exchanged confused glances. Krelax's mandibles spread in what might have been a smile. You trained your reflexes for recreation. Remarkable. He turned to the other cadets. Let this be a lesson. Never mistake presentation for capability. The galaxy is full of species that will underestimate humans because they appear awkward or weak. That assumption will be their downfall. Peter caught Tiana's eye. She grinned at him, and for the first time since arriving at the Academy, he allowed himself to smile back. Maybe being human wasn't such a disadvantage after all. Later that evening, as Peter walked through the Academy corridors, only bumping into 2 door frames instead of his usual 3, he received a message on his datapad. It was from Krelax. Report to Advanced Combat Training tomorrow at 0600. Bring Cadet Tiana. If your species can react like that without augmentation, I want to see what happens when we actually train you properly. Commander Krelax. Peter's hands trembled slightly as he forwarded the message to Tiana. Her response came immediately. About time they stopped laughing at us. Let's show them what Earth's clumsy humans can really do. As Peter lay in his bunk that night, staring at the ceiling of his quarters, he thought about home. About Earth, with its hurricanes and earthquakes, its predators and plagues, its endless capacity to kill the unwary. Humanity had survived all of that without claws, without armor, without any natural weapons except one. The ability to adapt, to react, to overcome. The galaxy was about to learn what that really meant.